national capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight,
Ijoma Oyato.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, PDP National Chairman Bamanga Tokoro talks tough, says no one in his party can make him resign. Chief Bode George tells his story, accuses his party, PDP, and Bola Tinubu of being behind his ordeal. Nigerian army steps up fight against terror, establishes a new command to deal with insurgency. And former Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon buried, described as one of the greatest Jewish military commanders.
On Business News tonight, finance ministers to make details of the budget public as lawmakers mandate her to answer questions on the bill.
And on sports news tonight, Real Madrid and Portugal winger Cristiano Ronaldo named the prestigious World Footballer of the Year winner for 2013.
I'm Linda Kibe, and from Abuja, PHCN workers protest federal government delay in paying their severance allowances in full. The drama in the People's Democratic Party leadership is gradually taking a new turn, with the wind that the current national chairman may be sent packing in the next National Executive Committee meeting. But the chairman's already fighting back ahead of the decision, saying no one in the PDP can remove him, not even Mr. President, unless there's a national convention. The strong position was relayed through a statement signed by the national chairman himself. In the three-paragraph statement entitled, "Convention, not Jonathan can remove me," Mr. Tokoro said his appointment was through a properly convened convention and nothing less is expected. In his words, "I am an elected national chairman. I have my certificate of return. I cannot resign. The convention brought me, so it has to take the convention that brought me for me to resign. So not even the president can ask me to resign." End of quote. Meanwhile, 9 out of 12 of the party's National Working Committee did not show up for the emergency meeting called by the party's national chairman today. The boycott, some feel, is targeted to show their dissatisfaction at Mr. Tokoro's leadership. But one of the members of the NWC told Channels Television via telephone that the reasons for the boycott are being handled and will soon be resolved. And as the national chairman of the party talks tough, a former chairman of the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest, Bode George, has been recounting his ordeal in prison after the Supreme Court absolved him of any wrongdoing in the accusation of contract splitting. He told Channels Television that his party, the PDP, and the former Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu ganged up against him in court. Our correspondent Seun Okinbaloye in this exclusive interview began by asking him to explain the gang-up and what his prison experience was like.
If you feel vilified by the charges against you, then what do you think was the witch hunting about, and who do you think has spearheaded this witch hunt?
People within my party were part of it to make sure that Bode George was out of their equation. Of course, they needed our greatest political enemy, Bola Tinubu, and so it was his game. They brought me. If you followed political activities, the greater hell was in Southwest. And this fellow in Lagos State, I have often told people how he had plundered the finances of Lagos, how he has completely mismanaged the assets that had been given to us by those who built Lagos State. So politically, we are on either side of the divide. So carrying you with this convoluted conspiracy that you should be tried by him. You know, when I say by him, by his court. And the young man, Oyewole, when we started, he looked fair, he looked normal, he looked, even throughout the whole trial. Because when they kept asking, who split the contract? Now, I didn't write out that memo. The experts went to the market, did the market survey, recommended, the usual procedure, eventually must have been looked at by the management, then presented to the board. And the board came, every board member took part in the discussion, and it went. So what was it? Is it the beneficiaries? Are they our own companies owned by us? I don't know those companies.
In the meantime, hearing in the suit filed by the People's Democratic Party against the Speaker of the House of Representatives over the defection of some members of the House has been adjourned to the 20th of January. At the resumed hearing of the suit today, lawyer to the defendant, Mr. Sebastian Hon, told the court that the suit was not ripe for hearing as notices were served on him late on Friday evening. Lawyer to the plaintiff, Mr. Yunus Osman, however, argued for continuation of hearing, saying the defendants had enough time to respond to the issues raised.
Peace in court because there is threat to remove all the PDP officers of the House if they had sat by today. And so we rushed to court.
So what's your position? Why did you rush to court?
No, we had to rush to court because will you wait until rope is tied around your neck before you complain? We don't want that rope to be tied.
Well, we have filed our papers. I don't think it's fair to the courts to prejudge the matters, but we have raised an objection to the suit because the PDP, which is the plaintiff, is not a member of the House of Reps. He's not even a human being. He cannot vote. He cannot even be the speaker. He cannot also be any of the principal members. So we have filed our objections. We have also filed our counter to the originating summons.
Now, staying with legal matters, the Court of Appeal today has yet again upheld Governor Seriake Dixon's candidacy as the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party for the 2012 governorship election in Bayelsa State. The court dismissed the suit filed by the former governor of Bayelsa State, Timipre Silva, for lack of jurisdiction to adjudicate on the matter. This is the fourth time the court will be ruling in the governor's favor. Now, federal and state governments have been ordered to stop the piecemeal payment of funds due to the judiciary. In a suit filed by judicial workers in the Federal High Court, Abuja, the presiding judge, Justice Adeniyi Adetokunbo Ademola, ruled that partial release of funds meant for the judiciary is unconstitutional and must be stopped forthwith. Justice Adeniyi also gave a perpetual injunction restraining the federal and state governments from further contravening the provisions of the Constitution with regards to first-line funding of the judiciary. And in other legal matters, the Lagos High Court, sitting in Igbosire, that's here in Lagos, could not make much progress today in the case of the late Cynthia Osukogu, as the two defense counsel failed to file their written addresses. The trial judge, Justice Olabisi Akinlade, accused them of stalling proceedings. The late Cynthia Osukogu, a 25-year-old postgraduate student of the Nasarawa State University, was murdered on July the 22nd, 2012 in Lagos by men she met and became friends with on Facebook. Two men, 33-year-old Okunmo Nwabufo and 23-year-old Olisa Ezike, are already standing trial for her murder. They were charged alongside 33-year-old Oji Osita and 25-year-old Ezike Nonso, who allegedly aided in the commission of the crime. The first two defendants at the last sitting of the court had told Justice Akinlade that the police obtained confessional statements of the crime from them under duress. The case then went into a trial within trial to determine the voluntariness of the confessional statements. Now, after the defense closed its case on November the 20th, 2013, Justice Akinlade had ordered the lawyers to the defendants to file their written addresses before the Christmas vacation to enable her listen to the adoption of the addresses and possibly give a ruling. Further hearing in the case has therefore been adjourned to February the 27th for the adoption of written addresses.